All right, you sexy sons of guns. I am super excited to record this video because this has been a long time coming. This is something that's absolutely massive for us. We have been Amazon sellers for the past few years. And about 9 months ago, we started planning, pivoting our brand across to Shopify. Now, in this video, right, I'm going to show you our Amazon results. I'm going to show you our recent Shopify results. And then I'm going to just talk a little bit about the relationship between Amazon and Shopify. I'm going to show you some brands. If you're an Amazon seller or if you're a Shopify seller, if you're looking at getting into e-commerce, this is going to be very, very valuable for you. So let's dive into it, right? So our Amazon brand is a few years old now. We have a brand in the pet space. We're doing about $1.4 to $1.5 million a year with this brand. Here's our results, right? So you can see yesterday we did just under 2.5K. We've actually had to close our best-selling listing, right? So usually this week we've been doing, you can see last 7 days, we've done about $30,000. We got up to the point where we were doing about $5,000 a day in sales just on Amazon. And also on Shopify, we were doing really well, but we've had to close our bestseller on Amazon because basically we were just going to run out of stock because it's going so well on Shopify. So basically, like at the minute, yeah, we're doing about $100,000 a month, a little bit more, probably about 150 when you include everything. But basically, yeah, our brand does about $1.5 million a year. But what happened is we kind of hit a plateau with Amazon, right? We were doing really well. We were kind of like the best seller in our category for a lot of our products. But we were hitting this ceiling because on Amazon, right, if you become the best seller in your category, you have to kind of then launch more products if you want to do more sales because you can only get the sales. Like if there's only 10,000 people searching for your product every month, you can't really increase that number of people, or can you? You can't really increase the number of people that are looking for those products on Amazon. So we hit a ceiling and we decided that we wanted to diversify away from Amazon. Now, that was one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons is Amazon is getting harder and the costs of selling on Amazon are getting higher and higher, right? So we started to see that and we were like, look, we want to get ahead of the curve, right? We don't just want to be an Amazon brand. We've always dreamt of selling on Shopify, but when you're in the Amazon bubble, when you only do Amazon FBA, it's very easy to only think about Amazon. And we kind of were like, well, it's really difficult to sell on Shopify. We had these like limiting beliefs. And now we've absolutely smashed those beliefs out of the water. And I'll show you our Shopify results in a second. Well, basically, yeah, I'm going to go on. I'm going to show you the Shopify results. I'm going to talk a little bit about, why we're doing this, how we've done it. I'm going to show you the results. I'm going to show you a couple of brands as well that I think like sort of are good examples of how this Shopify plus Amazon FBA is such a powerful strategy that I'm just unbelievably excited to start talking about for real now on the channel. Because if you've watched any of my previous videos, you will have seen me talking about it. I've been talking about it, but we actually didn't have the results yet because we hadn't done it. So I was talking in theory, but now we've actually done it and it's been going amazingly well, right? So here's our Amazon results. Last 30 days, about 100. We are up to about 150K a month when we've got everything in stock. And come the spring, we're probably going to do $300,000, $400,000 a month with this Amazon brand because the spring is super high demand in our niche for our products. So let's hop over to Shopify, right? So this is what I'm super excited to show you guys. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's just so amazing for me. So as you can see, right, we launched on the 8th of November. So the 8th until today, which is like the 21st, but let's do it to the 20th. Because today is a brand new day. So look, you can see so far in, in like 12 days, we've done, just over $7,000 in sales, about 4,000 sessions. You can see the conversion rate here is just under 3%. I actually dived into this. Our conversion rate is actually about 5% because a bunch of these sessions, almost half of these sessions come from blog articles that we've got on our site. We've got a lot of educational articles that are very sort of top of funnel. They never really make any sales when people come in. You can imagine, super high level sort of educational type things where people are not really looking to buy. So our conversion rate, when I worked it out, is actually about 5%, which is super, super high. For like a Shopify site, it's really good. So we've done 143 orders. The average order value is $50. Now, this is something that has been great so far because we've actually got new products coming into the brand that are going to bump this up. Now, if you know anything about selling on Shopify, like your average order value is super, super important because the cost of driving ads to your Shopify site is quite expensive. So it might cost you $20, $25 to get a customer. So you really need this AOV to be as high as possible. But you can see since we launched, it's just been going up and up and up. We've been making some changes to the website. I think we can get this up to 60, 70, maybe even higher, maybe even $80. But basically, we've pivoted everything now, and all of our products are subscription based, which I've talked about on the channel. That's been a massive, massive thing. So probably 40% of these orders at the minute are actually subscribing to our brand. Now, honestly, that is the holy grail of e-commerce. You want people to subscribe to your products, and you want products that people buy again and again and again. So this is one of the key differences between Amazon and Shopify, right? Shopify, it's expensive to get people to the website and get them to buy. Because if you go on Amazon, right, and let's take a look at like creatine gummies, there's only so many people searching for creatine gummies, which is great. But if you truly want to build a big brand, you have to kind of combine Shopify and Amazon, in my opinion, now, right? And one of the key differences between Amazon and Shopify is that there's already people on Amazon searching for stuff like this, searching for creatine gummies. So if I type in creatine gummies on Amazon, I'm looking for creatine gummies. But if you've got a website that sells creatine gummies, the only real way that you can drive people to that website is by running Facebook ads or maybe YouTube ads or TikTok ads or whatever. But when you do that, you're kind of just interrupting people as they're browsing Instagram, for example, right? So the conversion rate is a lot lower. So some of these products on Amazon, their conversion rate is going to be really high. It's probably going to be maybe 15, 20%. But as you can see, our conversion rate is under 3%. In reality, it's about 5%. But 5% for a Shopify store is really, really high. It's, like a good conversion rate is like 2.5 to 3%. So we're even above that. Well, that's one of the key differences between just selling on Amazon versus selling on your own website and through Shopify. When you're on Amazon, you're capturing that existing demand. So there's a ton of people searching for creatine gummies. Let's have a look how many. Over 100,000 people a month are searching for creatine gummies, right? But when you're advertising on Instagram, like I said, when you're on Instagram, you're not actively looking for creatine gummies, right? You're just browsing and then you'll see an ad. So it's a completely different game. Amazon is about capturing that demand, whereas Instagram, Meta, Facebook advertising, and Shopify, it's about generating that demand, and it's a completely different thing. But where this gets very, very useful and very, very powerful and interesting is when you combine these two worlds. And this is what we're doing now. And this is what we're teaching within our community. So if you're interested in kind of learning more about this stuff, I'm going to put a link in the description where you can learn more about how we might be able to help you out. But basically, I think this is the future of Amazon FBA. And I'm so unbelievably excited to share it because it's something that we've planned for a long time. So I think Amazon is getting harder and harder. You can still launch products on Amazon and you can still do well. But I think if you really, really want to crush it, you've got to be combining Amazon with Shopify and with these other channels, right? And that's what the biggest brands are doing. And now that's what we're doing. And what we've actually seen is that we've seen through running these Facebook ads, through running these advertisements on Instagram and all that stuff, we've seen a 1,300% increase in people searching directly for our products. So let me explain why that is so important, right? So let's imagine that I want to launch a creatine gummy, right? A lot of these brands that you'll see, these ones that are at the top, like these guys, maybe these guys here, these are the cheapest guys in the market, right? Like, look at these. These are $11.99. Quite often, what you will find is these are probably Chinese sellers that are just selling at absolute rock bottom prices. So that gets difficult to compete with, right? Because we can never really match Chinese sellers in price. And also, the Chinese sellers, they're way happier to have a much lower price, right? So, how do you compete against that? Well, the way that you compete against that is by having a brand off of Amazon and driving branded search on Amazon. Because the way that Amazon works is people will see your ads and they might not necessarily. The way that Amazon works in relation to Facebook advertising, all that type of stuff is people will see your ads on Meta, on Facebook, on Instagram, and they can click on it and they can go to your website and they can buy it. But a good chunk of those people, instead of doing that, they'll just go to Amazon because people are so used to buying everything on Amazon. So what ends up happening, right, is you get companies like this. So this is one of the biggest players, probably top three creatine gummy brands in the world. I think they're doing 30, $40 million a year at this point. So you can see on Amazon, right, that they're doing $530,000 a month. But what's really interesting about this is if you check their helium 10 using Cerebro, you can check their keywords basically, right? So you can see the keywords that they rank for. So what you can see is create creatine gummies. This is their brand. There's 17,000 people every single month searching specifically for their brand. And you can see in the past 12 months, it's just gradually gone up and up and up. So on this front page, when all of these people are spending so much money on Amazon advertising to try and get in these top spots, in these spots here, this brand is doing it super well because they've also got this assistance, this help with this external traffic coming in and searching for their brand. Now, this is exactly what we've built within our brand. The more that we've spent on Meta, the more that we've spent on advertising, the more sales we've been doing on Amazon. So not only have we done 7,000 in sales, we've had probably an extra $2,000 to $3,000 in sales in the same time period or more on Amazon. So essentially, what happens is the more that you do advertising for this brand off of Amazon, people go to your website and buy on the website. The more benefits you see on Amazon. So if you can kind of work out what I'm saying, if you combine these two worlds of Amazon and Shopify together, it just makes everything so much easier. And I used to think that it was really complex, but genuinely, I don't think it is. It's going so well for us, and I think once you understand how it's done, it's relatively simple. So another example here is these guys, Beast Bites, right? So I don't think these guys do a ton of stuff on Meta advertising. I think they advertise a lot on TikTok. But you can see again, right? They're one of the top sellers. They're one of the more expensive products in the market. I think they're running a Black Friday sale at the minute. But they're doing really well, $200,000 a month. But if you check again, you can see Beast Bites Creatine. They're getting branded search. So again, it's a great example of these companies that are at the top of these very competitive markets. And their huge advantage is that they have people searching for their products. Because if you rely solely on having to rank for these keywords like this, then you're going to struggle. It's going to be very, very expensive. You can still make money, but it's a completely different ball game. So if you combine these two things, then the sky is the limit with what you can do. You could have a brand that's doing like ours, $100,000 a month, and then if you bolt on top of that Shopify, not only do you increase the Amazon sales, but you also drive Shopify sales. And the beautiful thing about all of these sales that we've made, this is 143 orders in the last sort of 10 days, right? That's 143 customer emails that we've now got. Now, the difference between Shopify and Amazon is on Shopify, you get all of the customer data. You get the emails, you get the name, you get the address, you get the mobile phone number. So what that means is we can now email all of these people as often as we want. So we've got email campaigns set up that are going out 4 or 5 times a week where we can send offers for Black Friday. Like you cannot do that on Amazon. So the reason I'm so excited is because this has completely unlocked everything for us as e-commerce entrepreneurs. And honestly, I think anybody that's on YouTube now and they're talking about Amazon FBA, if they are not doing this, genuinely, they are borderline grifting you because this is the future. And genuinely, if you do not do this, you are going to struggle long term. Now, I'm not saying that you can't launch products on Amazon anymore and just be an Amazon brand. And if I was to recommend anybody within our community, if you are starting from zero, it's still a great way to learn e-commerce is launch a product on Amazon and get those key skills that you need of product development, of product research, of sourcing, of shipping, all of that stuff. It's still the best way to quickly learn the right skills for e-commerce. But what we're teaching within our community now is a hybrid model between Shopify and Amazon FBA. So, yeah, I don't know whether that's it. Did I have anything else to talk about? The ad library. Yeah, so this is one of the brands that I just looked at before, Create Wellness, a creatine brand. You can see they're running tons and tons of ads. They're even running ads where Joe Rogan. So you can see they're using this clip. Super clever. So this is the difference, right? All of these other brands that are on this front page, none of these guys, I mean, some of them are, but a lot of these guys are just Chinese sellers, and they're not really doing this. And this is where we can get a competitive advantage, right? So if you Google Meta Ad Library and you search for a brand name in here, let me see Beast Bites. Maybe they're also doing it. So you can see Beast Bites creatine gummies. Are they running any ads? Looks like maybe they are. So basically, I mean, they're running a lot of ads. Yeah, I thought they were just on TikTok. So, oh, it's mixed in Create Wellness. That's a bit weird. So basically, you can come to the Meta Ad Library, and this is basically just a huge library of all of the companies advertising on Facebook, and you can see what they're doing. So if you're looking at launching a creatine brand, you can literally come here and you can see what these companies are doing and what works for them. So you can see the more that people advertise on Meta, the better their results are. Because if these guys weren't advertising on Meta, there's no way that they would be on this front page, right? There's just no way that they would be here. So you've got a lot of people further down the page, products like this, but they've got to be so cheap. They've got to be so cheap. This is another good brand, Perfect Peach. So to cap it all off, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this Shopify thing mixed with Amazon, let me know in the comments below, because I'm going to be talking a lot more about this. Hopefully you can see that I'm super excited. I'm going to keep you updated with the results of our brand. We're scaling this hard. I think we can get to $100,000 a month on Shopify very, very quickly. All of the data is giving us the right signals. Everything is looking super strong. We've just got to figure out how we get everything in stock properly, and how we just continue testing different ads. We started this with 6 ads. So you can see that these guys here have got like 250 ads. We've only got 6 at the minute. But what we're going to be doing is scaling that. We're going to be testing tons of new videos. We're working with creators. We're designing static ads. It's so much fun. Honestly, it's so much fun. So if you're interested in learning more, check the link in the description. And you can learn more about our community and everything, where we're going to be teaching this, showing you our brands and all that sort of stuff. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.